Alright, what's going on? My name's Blaze, and I play Marvel Future Fight. Well, I'm considering quitting, and it's pretty sad, because right now, I've got all the characters. I've always had this thing with keeping all the characters unlocked, and I'm actually up here. I got a VIP 9, I'm almost VIP 10. And I've been playing this game for, I don't know, 4 years, maybe a little bit longer. And you know, it started out slow, buying some things here and there. This game was awesome, very addicting. They had great content. They had stuff that wanted me playing. Like I started playing it because my favorite Marvel character is Doctor Strange, hands down. This is what led me to the game. So that movie came out. I've been a Strange fan since I was a kid. I've got comic books that are older than I am that I was able to pick up when I was younger. And picked up some of the collector sets. Read a lot of his comics. Been following the character for years. So I was really excited when Marvel came out with a movie for him. So I'm like, yeah, I'll play him in this game. And I'm like, you know, I got to find games. So I found a mobile game. I'd never spent money on a mobile game before. I've probably put something like close to $1,500 USD into this game. And, you know, it's a little bit here and there. You know, maybe 20, 30 bucks a month here and there on occasion. You know, nothing too extreme or extravagant. And now this last update, though, I feel like I've spent quite a bit. And then they come out with this absolute trash. Like, first and foremost, we get a new uniform. Which, okay, might be a little bit better, a little tweak, but why do we need another new uniform? Like, we already have original Scarlet Witch got a uniform. Okay, I bought that. Got an air uniform. All right, I bought that too. Okay, not a problem. Then we have this. Like, she's about to get out on Disney Plus. I guarantee Netmarble's going to turn around and throw another uniform at us. The problem is, I want to start out with a rant, obviously, and then I want to get into a little bit about how I would improve and fix this game. So, continuing with my rant, as I've already started, 1,050 crystals on sale. That's discounted, okay? That's not the normal price, you know, 1,750. If you look at some of the older uniforms, if I go here and I go to the uniform shop, I can go here to uniforms, go to all uniforms, and you can see some of these older ones that folks don't really have or use anymore. 750 crystals, 450 on sale. You know, that's not too bad of a price. You know, that's not too bad. But all the new uniforms are 1750, like this Beast one, which is another one that's like not really worth picking up in my opinion, and I don't have yet. 1750. So they're doing us a service by giving it to us for 1,050. In this last update that just came out, this House of X, I was super excited. So obviously I did not pick up Jean's uniform because it's not enough of a bump, and it seems to me more PvE focused, and I use Jean exclusively in PvP because she is like a goddess in PvP, and I really like the aesthetics of this uniform. I think this uniform is her best uniform. I'm not a huge fan of this. It's not bad, I just don't like it as much, and obviously it's better than original, and it does make her a better character. So 1,500 crystals. Usually it's 2,500 crystals. So we get that. We get Professor Xavier, which was another couple thousand crystals. And then they add that Mandalay gem fragment garbage. So if you don't have like characters like Mystique, you know, I heard the reviews and the previews and how people checked her out and like, oh, she's fantastic as long as you have her awaken skill. So I was dumb because I don't have a lot of tickets, and I actually regret this now, especially with the Mandalay gem fragments. But I was in the store, and yeah, I bought her. I bought her straight up tier 2. I went, and it looks like that acquisition is no longer available. But I spent the what was it, 50 USD, I think, something like that, and I bought her at tier 2. And now I'm going to sit on her for who knows how long for me to get 1,000 of these Mandalay gem fragments. You know, unless, of course, I want to go to the shop and I want to, you know, spend another $100 on just one character. And I think that's the thing that is getting to me right now. It's like, so Magneto finally gets a reasonable uniform. And he's pretty awesome. You know, he can do GBR now. He can do ABX, and I slapped a rage on him. He's probably my second favorite character in Marvel. Doctor Strange, Magneto. And Xavier. Xavier's a great character. And I'm really excited that he came out and they did so much justice. So I tiered 3 him. So now I'm out of Titan records. So essentially, if you didn't have Magneto, which I already had him tiered 3, because like I said, he's one of my favorite characters besides for Doctor Strange. So here's a Blast tier 3. So it's either him or Xavier. Just had to go the Xavier route. Either way, it's going to cost you a lot. So, okay, so you tiered 3 on both. Oh, you have no Titan records. We're going to go ahead and throw in Scarlet Witch tier 3 and a uniform. And we're probably going to throw in another uniform as soon as Disney Plus comes out with her stuff. Like, really? Seriously? You got to be freaking kidding me. They just finally gave us a CTP pity timer, which I think is awesome. It's probably one of the better updates. That and Squad Battle. And they throw another Blast tier 3 at us. Like, seriously, what is the point? Why? Why do we need more Blast characters? Like Blast tier 3, 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 and Iron Man, who I don't have tier 3 yet, and Cyclops. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we need an 8th tier 3 Blast character? Like, seriously? Why? For what? At this point, it's like there's no content in the game that justifies having that many characters. Like, there's no point. Like, it's absolutely worth it. Now, don't get me wrong. Scarlet Witch is an awesome character. I like Scarlet Witch. You know, I use Scarlet Witch all the time. She can pretty much do all World Boss Ultimates. And if you build her right, and I've only got a mine Obelisk on her, she can do pretty high content in World Boss Ultimate. So, again, we're left with the fact of why. You know? Oh, don't worry. Marvel's got your back. For the small price of, what is this, $100, you can go through the Scarlet Witch Relay Pack, and you can get your Titan records that you need. So you can do a Titan record selector and get your Blast records. This is fantastic, right? Actually, it's not really $100. That's $100 just for this pack. There's $150, $180, $190, $195, $195. $195 for one character. Are you fucking kidding me? 7 Blast characters after just giving us a brand new Blast character that's actually awesome. And it's a great character that a lot of people are a fan of. So, of course, all the fanboys are going to run out and grab this uniform. I'm not buying the uniform. They can go fuck themselves. Like, I'm so freaking pissed with this update. It's ridiculous. And it's like a slap in the face. I thought it was an April Fool's joke, which I actually thought would have been kind of funny because of how many people absolutely adore Scarlet Witch. But nope, it's real. It's legit. It's serious. We have a roster of over 216 characters, most of which are not even usable. They don't even follow their power levels from the comics. Like, Odin straight up beat the shit out of Thanos in the comic books. In the MCU, Thanos didn't even appear until Odin died. That's how legit this guy is. And he's pathetic power level in this game. You know, you have other characters that a lot of people like Blade is a badass character. Do you know he is the first, technically for the MCU, for the Marvel stuff, Blade was the first one to get a movie. He came out before X-Men. A lot of people didn't even know it was a Marvel movie. You know, with Wesley Snipes and shit. Badass movie. There's 3 of them. Blade, great character. And absolutely worthless in the game. A lot of these characters, like, they're not even worth playing anywhere. Hogun, he might be an Asgardian, or Asgardian if you want to mispronounce it like they do in the comics. Amadeus Cho, not even worth using. Moon Knight was pretty legit, but still Shadowlands only. You know, you've got all of these characters, and you can't use them. White Tigers, you can't do anything in the game, really, besides for Shadowlands, like most of the characters out there. Shang fucking Chi, he better get a uniform and a decent update for his movie, if that still comes out with all the crap going on in the world. You know, why? Why are so many characters? Black Bolt, right? If dude literally speaks and can wreck a city. I mean, and he's not worth anything in this game. Squirrel Girl actually is one of the characters who beat up Thanos. Still not worth using. I don't understand the logic behind ignoring and having all of these characters in the game. Bobby Morse, Daredevil, Black Cat, even Wiccan, Whiplash. I mean, like, Agent 13, like, they're in the game. It's like, great, there's this big roster. You can't really use them anywhere. You know, maybe some subtle bonuses and bumps on occasion, but I mean, a lot of these characters you're not even touching. You're sticking with most of your tier 3s, your awakened potential. Which, by the way, if you didn't already awaken their potential, which I do have some potential awakened for some of the characters. You know, I've got it here for I guess the Dr. Octopus Ultimate uniform, and I have it for Blue Dragon. You know, have to have your unique original characters in there, but Blue Dragon's actually pretty cool. I don't think she fits the whole Marvel theme, but, you know, she's still pretty awesome, and I got her awaken skill. Yeah, it's going to take forever to awaken these characters, and they're just throwing more stuff at us. So we have all of these characters, so let's look at some of these characters that should be powerful. Door fucking Mamo, dude. Like, how many uniforms does he have? Oh, not one. Othin. How many uniforms does Othin have? Oh, not one. Huh. Go figure. Now, okay, I mentioned Blade earlier. How many uniforms does he have? Oh, okay, he has one uniform. Does it make a difference? No, not really. Not at all. Which, by the way, this is not comic accurate. He did not have the sword. He actually had a wooden knife that he hunted vampires with this outfit when his first appearance, but whatever. Hulkling. You know, he's a great character. Oh, wait, no uniform there either. Jessica Jones, she's got her own TV series. Oh, no uniform. So the point I'm trying to get at here is, like, most of these characters aren't really usable. They don't have uniforms. They're probably not going to get a tier 3 anytime soon. And then you have characters like this. Where is he at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I got a count over. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 uniforms. How many uniforms does Captain America need? Really? 11? And most of these crystal uniforms? Who's another one? Oh, the well-known ones, the fan favorites. You know, the ones that, you know, everyone knows about and wants to play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 uniforms. 8. And now they're doing the same thing with Scarlet. She now has 3 uniforms. Why? Why does she need that many uniforms? Even Doctor Strange kind of pissed me off because they just had the Doctor Strange movie one shortly after they get Infinity War, and it's basically the same outfit, besides he's taking flight, and he's got the time loops on both arms instead of just the one. I, of course, bought it. I've got it Mythic. I've got all the uniform options Mythic. He's my favorite character. I've got him ranked 162. But it's like, I don't know why we need more uniforms or more characters, especially uniforms for characters that have uniforms. Stop giving us uniforms for the same characters. Like, if they need a little bit of a rework, give them a real rework instead of Wolverine. I so regret buying this. I should have boycotted this too, but I ended up buying it. I have all Wolverine's uniforms too. Big mistake, honestly. Get X-Force. Well, actually, if you have none of them, get the House of X. But if before it was like X-Force, in my opinion, and then Age of Apocalypse, and then the Marvel Now. I did a comparison. I even tried ranking them up. It wasn't really worth it. Wolverine's not really technically that powerful anyway, so I don't know why they would make him this powerful in the game. Well, because he's a fan favorite. People want to... They're trying to do justice for some of these characters. Psylocke got a nice little bump, but it's like so many characters are getting ignored. Not getting uniforms, not getting tier 3s, not getting bumps or awakens. And they're spending their time on this shit right after giving us Professor X and a Magneto uniform. The game, it's like they reworked story mode, and story mode, in my opinion, is almost worse than it was, because it locks you in and makes you start over and over again. The best thing, like I said, is that pity timer, and in my opinion, I really like squad battle, even though they don't give good rewards for it. This is fun, and it makes it worth having a roster. So to me, I like playing this because get a variety of characters, and it makes sense to level up multiple characters. So I'm looking forward to things they might do with this. But yeah, ranting aside, I don't know how long I've been ranting for, but ranting aside, how would I fix this game? Well, first and foremost, I'd make it worth having so many characters. When they started doing little subtle updates, such as the Warriors of the Sky, believe it or not, I think they're going in the right direction. And what I mean by that is if you look at her leadership skill here, just affects Warriors of the Skies, folks. They did the same thing with the Fantastic Four pack with Thing and Mr. Fantastic. The bumps are a little higher than you would typically see, but it forces you to lock characters down to work together in groups. The problem is they're not meta enough to use them just anywhere in the game. So give us a game mode where it would make sense to lock it down to just Fantastic Four members so that we want to use them and level them up. Make it make sense. I actually ended up doing a post, and I'll share it in the description on the Netmarble forums, and I highly encourage you to comment on it and to react to it, put thumbs up, whatnot, and bump it and show support for it. But I listed out a whole lot of ideas that I personally would do to try to fix this game. Because aside from World Boss Ultimate and Squad Battle, most of the games, in my opinion, is not worth playing at this point. I'm sorry, I like GBR a lot too. So GBR, Squad Battle, World Boss Ultimate. Those are my favorite game modes. Timeline is pointless. You can just auto through it. And it's pretty much a very small group of characters. There's no point in playing anyone else for the most part. The Alliance Conquest is a joke. You have to be on at the right time. And if you don't have a big enough alliance that are willing to dump money in a whole bunch of ridiculous characters and do the ridiculous builds, there's no point in that either. Even World Boss Ultimate, I love it as much as I do. You get to play it 5 times per day, period. So again, what's the point in having their blast tier 3? I mean, if you don't already have all the tier 3 characters, it gives you another option. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I guess fan service. So how about having each character have their own mission page? Like going into Doctor Strange and having a little button for Doctor Strange quests or missions or something. It doesn't even need to be located here. But only Doctor Strange can be used for it. And you get ranked based upon how well you play Doctor Strange in his small story missions. Have it World Boss Ultimate-esque to where you have different levels, maybe up to 99, and you can get as high as you want. You can clear it maybe once per day, and every single character has their own. Now, obviously, this would take a lot of development, a lot of time, but maybe he goes up against his big nemesis. Maybe he takes on Baron Mordo, and vice versa. Maybe Baron Mordo takes on Doctor Strange, as an example. Wolverine and Sabretooth. There could be rivalries on these characters, on some of them, and they could slowly introduce these over numerous updates and give us something new to focus on. And if every single character got this, it would make it worth building up characters like Hulkling if they had little mini quests that are worth doing and maybe semi-reasonable rewards. Give us Mandalay crystals or whatever, something, some of the way to gather that stuff, because it takes way too long to build it up. Let's talk about another idea that I had. How about you add a bump for owning more than one uniform, or just make them all synergize? When you have Captain America, like seriously, we have to go through and buy all of these uniforms and get options for other uniforms to get them all up to Mythic. Why do I want to have this many uniforms other than uniform options? They're completely worthless. Once you have 1 or 2 really good uniforms, there's no reason to get the other uniforms. They just gave us Infinity War, then just gave us Endgame. Now Captain Hydra and this $20.99 thing, I'm sorry, $30.99 out of nowhere. Like, why? Why are you keep throwing uniforms at us? There's no point to it anymore. So maybe synergize it with the whole character. So if you have a mythic uniform, even if the new uniforms come out, fine. We'll pay crystals for it, but instantly unlock it for us and synergize them all together like character's uniform or character level, period. Instead of making us go through the whole process again, which almost ends become pointless and very expensive to try to keep up with. Speaking of which, there's absolutely no reason not to allow us to have, you see how we can have up to 3 ISO sets? Give us more gear slots. People are going to buy more CTPs and obelisks and stuff for different game modes. Give us more freaking slots so we can customize the characters. So yeah, I think that they need to make uniforms worth having at this point because they keep slapping them out. I mean, you might as well not buy uniforms because they're always turning around and coming out with a new uniform. Sharon Rogers is notorious for not only being one of the better characters in the game because she's a custom character for Netmarble, but they want to keep her towards the top, and they keep bringing out uniforms. So she'll continue to get new uniforms. Make it worthwhile for us. That's all I'm saying. Or space them out enough to where it's worth getting, unlike you're doing with Captain America or Spider-Man or any of the Infinity War Endgame uniforms, like back-to-back uniforms. Come on. How about taking the cap off of World Boss Ultimate? That is one of the modes that I hear a lot of folks say that they either love it or they hate it. Okay, so if you love or hate World Boss Ultimate, a lot of folks like it. You can only do it 5 times per day. How about 5 times per day per character? How cool would it be? I'm going to do 5 Proxima clears. I'm going to do 5 Call Obsidian clears. I'm going to do 5 Corvus Glaive. I'm going to do 5. I'm going to do 5. Go through and do 5 with them all. Here, let's add another caveat to it. How about this? How about making it even more challenging and make it worth having a roster? You can only use your 3 characters in that match 1 time per boss. So if you use your dream clear team, you can only use it 1 clear, 1 clear, 1 clear, or even worse, once period. So you use it 1 time, and now you can't use that team again. Similar to what they're doing with Squad Battle, but now let it be for World Boss. Since we like the World Boss mode, it's a faster clear, it takes less time to play, a little bit more open. Let us have our whole roster, but limit it like that. Give us more plays, or increase this cap. Instead of being 5, let us do 10 or 15 clears per day. How cool would that be? How about a map where you place characters in a turn-based action type style, like maybe, you know, just kind of like a big old, kind of like Alliance Conquest, but instead of you doing individual teams, have a full map and you play against another player, and maybe during your turn you can place them out or whatever. Something along those lines. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if I like that idea as much as some of my other ones. How about a crystal bonus for number of characters and a thank you to those who have spent over $1,000 on a freaking phone game? You know, people like myself or people who are freaking VIP 20. How about showing them a little love and like, oh, you have all 216 characters? Hey, how about instead of 25 crystals per day, you get 50? Oh, wait a minute. You have all the tier 3 characters? I only have 15 tier 3s. I don't have that many. But if you have all the tier 3 characters, how about 75 crystals per day? If we have already spent this much money buying all this garbage and stuff you're throwing at us, or even giving us credit for the uniforms we own, 56 Mythic, again, I know there's people with better accounts, then maybe show us some encouragement and thanking for spending as much money as we have, because we're going to eventually burn out on spending all this money and not getting anything for it. So instead of just the VIP level, maybe adding better rewards for that at this point, because it's getting pretty ridiculous on the spend for a lot of this. Let's see. What about reworking story? So you already reworked story, and I'm sorry, but the story mission here, it's just bad. I mean, the old one was bad and needed to be changed, but this is bad too. You're forcing characters that I guess you feel are well known, so we have to play these characters and only these characters. What if you reworked, and along the other ideas that I was having of having these special missions per character, what if there's a story per character that we could work and progress through and repeat each day? Or how about opening it up a different type of story mode similar to this, but allowing us to choose the characters of our choice? Even having them start out with no experience and slowly growing it up, or something. You know, maybe even give bonuses for having the characters already built up. Something. I don't know. I just feel like story mode is not where it needs to be. How about reworking Shadowlands to be harder at the start? Like right now, what I mean by that is in Shadowlands, and again, this might not be new player friendly, but again, you have veterans. We're the ones who've been dumping money into this game. Show us a little love. These first 30 stages are a joke. At this point, I've gotten up to 83, as high as I've gotten. And the rewards are 1 time when you clear these stages up here, so I don't see the point in digging through them. What if you made them based upon your VIP level, based upon your character count, something, based upon some sort of power stat, allowing us to fight harder characters sooner and getting better rewards sooner, so it's worth our playtime, instead of feeling like a joke. And then maybe we have to use some of our better characters and focus more on better character clears and better tactical clears instead of just throwing junk to get through the stuff that's actually going to make us think or work or save our best for. Having it harder sooner if we're stronger players. How about endless wave mode? Like, you have almost that in squad battle, but it's not. I've completely cleared out waves. They stop dropping and there's big gaps between them, and there's the stupid collecting and time freezing, which, okay, it's not that stupid. It's fun, it's interesting, it's challenging, but to literally have a enemy dump of characters over and over again, and maybe in this endless mode, maybe we have a roster of characters. We pick like 5 characters, and as they die, the next one comes in, and we try to stay alive as long as possible, but they do get sizably harder as the characters drop in. As we kill more, as we start wiping them out, it gets harder and harder and harder. And maybe even throwing in some obstacles if we're using like a regen character, maybe characters that can turn off regen with a special skills, we have to avoid that. Or if we're using Spider-Man, they can't be webbed up, or they have immunity to webbing or something, dropping characters that are going to be better at picking them off. Obviously, when the next one comes in, those characters might die a little quicker because we wouldn't have the deficiency for the character we're using, making us think more tactically about our lineup. Something like that would be pretty cool as well. And again, having high ranking scores. How about reworking timeline? Timeline, like I said, you can sit through that. It's pretty much the same stuff all the time in timeline right now. I think it's under arena. Maybe. Yeah, timeline battle. So like right now, pretty much a lot of folks are using Jean, Thanos, Captain Marvels. You're seeing a lot of Colossus. You're seeing pretty much the same type of teams. Restricting characters is not doing it. You can autoplay this and walk through it. I autoplay it all the time because it's boring. Make it tactfully difficult. Maybe instead, again, give us 5 characters. Why are we always locked down to 3? Instead of this team synergy, why don't we have the ability, especially with like Warriors of the Sky and Fantastic Four, we can have synergy with 4 characters. Force us to play manually. Don't take this auto. Or if you do have an auto mode for those that don't have time to play the game, fine. But have a manual mode where it's like maybe turn-based. So we'll have 5 characters, and each player will pick 1 character. So like, let's say I'm playing a live opponent, and that live opponent, and if not, if you want an AI mode, if you have some problems hosting live modes because of some of the modes that are out here, I get it, such as Danger Room. I do like Danger Room as well, by the way. Sometimes it's glitchy. Okay, then how about if you did have an AI, they also have 5 that are chosen at random out of their best characters in their roster, and the opponent picks first, and then you pick a character based upon what they pick to try to counter them, and then you both fight until one of you dies. That's match. Both of those characters are now gone. Now you pick a character, and the opponent picks one to counter you, and you go back and forth. You do full 5 battles, and the best 3 of 5 wins. So you're taking turns who gets to pick and choose first, and who gets to counter that by picking as their self. So to begin with, you don't get your whole roster. You pick 5 characters up front. Both players do. And then you take turns picking and countering. You fight it out, and you keep going through 5 battles. Best 3 of 5 wins. That would be cool as shit. Even bringing it down to 3. Fine. Bring it down to 3. Fine. Have your leaderships involved. Fine. Whatever. But again, pick your 3 up front. Take turns picking and countering. Best 2 of 3. That would be cool. That would be fun. That would be engaging, in my opinion. I would like to see timeline reworked like that. So I posted all of this in my post, and you're welcome to comment on it. Like I said, maybe it's not all perfect, but this is the type of stuff I would do to fix the game. We need game modes. Game modes. We don't need more characters. We don't need more tier 3s. We don't need uniforms. And I'm sure some of you are like, no. I need to have this character. I needed Scarlet Witch tier 3. Did you really? Seriously? You have 6 other tier 3 blast characters. You do not need Scarlet Witch tier 3. You don't. You really don't. You would like it, and you got it, but it's not needed. We need something else. Actually, you don't even have to have such a huge gap between the characters. You could essentially even out the characters And basically, your character is good. You could take Phil Coulson and clear 99 World Boss Ultimates if you take the time to invest in his Tier 3, in his uniform, building him up, uniform options, build proper CTP, proper ISO sets. So instead of forcing players to use the same characters because you've deemed these are the best characters in the game, instead allow the players to pick their own characters. And sure, there could be advantages or disadvantages based upon that character and their skill set, whether they have debuff or remove debuff or whatever the case may be. They have webbing or time freeze. They're a machine, or, you know, Magneto is great against machine because of his power. So there could be counters like that. But again, at the essence of all the characters, there's no reason why people should not be allowed to play with their favorite characters. There's no reason why some of these characters should be utter garbage filler characters. Let us build who we want, the best we want. That's another idea for you. So here's a whole bunch of ideas on how to possibly improve this game, but I, for one, am getting sick of this money grab bullshit in these stores. I'm getting sick and tired because I've threw $50 at Mystique. I bought the stupid uniforms. I've got rages because I gambled with the CTP timer, and I got 3 rages. I got lucky, and I put one on Magneto, I put one on Xavier, and one is sitting in my inventory because I'm not 100% sure who I actually want to give that to. So at some point, I will pick a place for my rage, for my destructions, and for my greed that are sitting that I'm waiting on. But in the meantime, I just don't want to spend money anymore. It's just not worth it. I mean, $200 for one character, it's not worth it when there's nowhere to use them. What can Scarlet Witch do that other characters can't? Nothing. It comes down to a choice. I mean, I guess you're kind of leveling them out to a degree, but not for that much money. That's ridiculous. Come on. So anyway, this is just my thoughts, bitching and ranting, and I know the video is long, but again, I'm going to post the forum that I did, a forum post with a lot of these ideas. If you support it, thumb up, like it, share it, make Netmarble hear us, because if you just keep buying all this stuff, you're telling them it's okay, you're telling them you don't care. This game could be better. This game has been my go-to mobile game. This is pretty much the only one I heavy focus on. It's the only one I spend money on because I love this game. Even now, the game is still good. They're just doing dumb update ideas, in my opinion. The game's still worth playing. The game is not worth supporting with finances at this point. It's not. Just stop. Fix the game, please. Anyway, thanks for hearing me out. Like I said, get on the forums. Remember to thumb up, like, and subscribe. Leave your comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe I'm completely out of line, but mostly I've pretty much done Twitch highlights on my video history here. Mostly it's around Marvel Future Fight, but I started making more videos like this. Well, more educational videos slowly but surely. I would like to do more of those. I'd like to do more videos dedicated around how awesome Marvel Future Fight is and how I would recommend playing or building characters, but right now it's pretty much a complaint because, yeah, 216 characters, most not even worth getting. It's pretty sad at this point. It's very disheartening and makes me want to quit.